Hey guys, it's Phantom here, and welcome back to a brand new video, everybody. So today marks another day where I post yet another video in an attempt to retell the complete story of this game. Now I do want to apologize once again, as I had planned for this video to come out much sooner than the previous video regarding the story of Marleybone, which I posted back in January. And yeah, still not proud of the gap that comes in between each one of these videos, but anyways, today I'm going to be recounting the complete story of Wisteria, one of my personal favorite worlds inside of this game, a world full of wonders, from sassy pigs to one steamy broad who plays the role of headmistress. Oh, what's wrong with me? Anyways, a world that seems quite simple on the surface. However, if looked into further, one might begin to realize that not all is well inside of this silly Wizard City parody. Now, the quest leading up to your arrival upon the world informs you that you have been chosen to represent Ravenwood in the Spiral Cup tournament because of your exemplary work that you've demonstrated, leading all the way up until you reach the level 25. Now, Ambrose states that Ravenwood hasn't actually won the Spiral Cup in quite some time, and he's hoping that you may finally be the one to bring honor and glory to Ravenwood's desolate reputation. After talking to Ambrose, you go to Mr. Lincoln, who tells you that the tournament will be held in Pigswick Academy, Ravenwood's rival school of magic located in the world of Wisteria. Before you actually go to the world, however, you are given a ring that demonstrates that you are indeed Ravenwood's representative for the tournament. By the way, keep this ring in mind for later. Anyways, ring on finger, a gleaming smile on your face, a twinkle in your eye, you finally enter the world. So you're greeted by the registrar, Mrs. Dowager, who checks your ring and then sends you to the tournament hall, where you meet the dueling instructor, Benedict Glendemming, and gaze upon the ever-prized Spiral Cup. Benedict informs you that you'll have to pass a qualifying round to be fully entered into the tournament, and after vaporizing your first opponent almost instantly, you return back to Miss Dowager, who then tells you to go to the student dormitory to meet your fellow opponents. They're all fairly nice, except for Randolph Spellshine, Wisteria's own representative in the tournament, and no surprise, he's actually kind of a dick. Anywho, after you're done with the formalities, you place your ring in the drawer in the dormitory and head back to Miss Dowager. You're then instructed to meet Belladonna Crisp, the headmistress of Pigswick Academy, who is also, shocker, kind of a dick. You seeing a common theme here? Anyways, she first sends you to all of these schools present throughout Pigswick Academy so you can meet the professors in an attempt to educate you on what so-called real magic is. And I'm pretty sure that the Frost Magic teacher actually doesn't even know Frost Magic either, so that's interesting. Anyways, when you return, she still doesn't take you seriously whatsoever and pokes fun at the fact that all Ravenwood students think that the source of all magic is a tree. And her counter-argument is that it is actually a fountain that is placed outside the tournament hall, which is a statement that still keeps me awake most nights. After this kerfuffle, she asks for our help in aiding the problems that plague Pegasus Place, and this is where the real trouble begins. Upon going to the entrance of Pegasus Place, Captain O'Hare informs you that the place has actually become overrun with goblins. After you beat some up, you find groundskeeper Vern, who is the head gardener of Wisteria. He is useful in that he knows about all of the different plants that grow throughout Wisteria. He notes that ever since the goblins had showed up in Pegasus Place, strange plants have been growing all along the street. To discover these strange plants' origins, he instructs you to collect samples of this particularly strange variety of flora and bring it back to him. While Vern is analyzing these samples, we then go to the Pegasus stables to help Lapin Wingtamer. It turns out Lapin actually saw where these goblins had come from, and it was actually just a huge green portal. Returning to Vern with your newfound information, he tells you that the samples of strange plant you collected have weirwood origins, and pieces together the fact that the portal could very well be related. With this info, you decide to go talk to Beatrice Wildwind, who, conveniently enough, is from Weirwood. She tells you that the plant is called Wild Viridian, and that the goblins present in Wisteria use it as a kind of seasoning, which is severely unimportant to the storyline. She assures us that the troubles currently happening in Wisteria is surely the goblins' doing, and that she is willing to help you close the portal. Beatrice informs us that there is an incantation that we can use to dispel the portal, and after we gather all of the items necessary, we head back to Vern, who is pleased with us, but also tells us that we need a soul stone to finalize the incantation. So we head to Lord Graustark, the leader of the Goblins' Tower, and snatch his. After this, we are successfully able to close the Goblin Portal, and most importantly of all, please miss Belladonna Crisp. After that Pegasus Place fiasco is finished, it is finally time to start the tournament. You first head to Miss Dowager once again, who tells you that it is tradition for competitors in the tournament to knock on the Spiral Cup for good luck. However, when you arrive at the tournament hall, you notice that the cup is actually missing. You talk to Benedict, who unsurprisingly has no idea where it is, and sends you back to Mrs. Dowager, who tells you that you needn't worry, and that most likely the cup will turn up eventually. In the meantime, the tournament will proceed as planned. Our first opponent is Kisai Shugenja from Mushu, who we beat swiftly and soundly, and then report back to Glendemming with the news. When you go back to him, he tells you that he may have found some evidence that points to who actually stole the Spiral Cup, and instructs you to give it to Mrs. Dowager. Once we go to her, we are then told to go to the headmistress with the news, who then tells us to go to the dormitory to fetch our school ring. Upon opening the drawer that had supposedly contained our ring, we find that it is missing. Miss Crisp is not surprised at all, as the evidence that was found at the scene of the crime was actually our school ring. Although she is suspicious at first, she admits that most likely we weren't the ones that stole the Spiral Cup, as leaving our school ring blatantly out in the open at the scene of the crime would be an incredibly dumb move, and this I have to agree with her on. In the meantime, we still continue on with the tournament, and our next opponent is Beatrice Wildwind. And yep, you guessed it, we end up winning the match. With that done, we can now work towards proving our innocence. We head back to where the Spiral Cup had once stood and find an assortment of leaves, bark, and vine, which we take back to Belladonna. She tells us to pay another visit to Vern, which then leads to him telling us that he doesn't believe the plants are native to Wisteria, so he then sends you to Chester Drawers, the Earth Professor, who tells us that we brought him the exact same plants that are overrunning Tanglewood Way, which is a street that is unfortunately closed off to all students. And with this info in mind, we report back to Belladonna. Belladonna insists that we continue with the tournament. However, when we arrive at the tournament hall, we are greeted with the knowledge that our next opponent, Nalia Doonstratter, has not shown up yet. We eventually find her in the student dormitory, where she informs us that she lost her wand back in Tanglewood Way and cannot duel us without it. Being the stand-up wizard we are, we find a way into Tanglewood that will hopefully lead us to the missing wand. And while we are present in the street, we notice that some of the plants there look strangely like the ones that we found in the tournament hall. We eventually end up finding Nalia's wand, and she is of course grateful for our help. With that matter settled, the tournament can resume, and yes, we do end up defeating Nalia in the next match. We eventually return to Tanglewood Way and defeat some of the Green Men in an attempt to explore Tanglewood Way's connection to the evidence that we already have. We notice that the Green Men's leaves, bark, and vine match the evidence that was found in the tournament hall exactly. In a haste, we go to Vern once again, who directs us to Chester Drawers, the expert on Green Men. At first, he seems friendly enough regarding the current situation. However, when you step inside his classroom, you notice that a huge bushy cavern has opened up. Out of curiosity, you explore the cavern and find Chester Drawers waiting for you inside. He ends up turning on you, and after you defeat him, he asks you to come back outside so that he can explain the whole situation. Apparently, Lord Bramble had been controlling Chester the whole time, and you defeating him had actually broken the spell, but only temporarily. Chester reveals Lord Bramble's true plan, which is to return Wisteria to the wild, overgrown state that it was once in before Pigswick Academy was founded. To do this, he had Chester frame the stealing of the Spiral Cup on you, which would in turn discredit Pigswick Academy and create conflict between Ravenwood and Pigswick. Chester explains that Bramble has his soul trapped in a wooden doll, and it's up to you to defeat him and recover both that and the Spiral Cup. We end up successfully accomplishing both of these tasks and restore Ravenwood's reputation in the eyes of Pigswick Academy. Now that that's all over, we can finally carry out the final match of the tournament, facing the arrogant Randolph Spellshine. We end up defeating him, which feels much better than it should, and also securing the Spiral Cup for Ravenwood. In the end, all is well in Wisteria, and we have made our very own headmaster proud. And that is the complete story of Wisteria. So anyways, that is pretty much it though. I hope you guys did enjoy that little reading I did there. A lot of you guys seem to actually enjoy these types of videos, so I'm really happy about that, and I'm really happy that I could bring another one to you guys as well. So if you did enjoy, you know, you could always like or maybe subscribe if you're looking forward to more content in the future. I'd love to get out these videos a lot faster, but the problem is these do take a little bit of time to make, so just bear with me, guys, just bear with me. But nonetheless, I hope you did enjoy this video. Anyways, though, that's going to be all from me, everyone. I will see you all in the next video or stream, whenever that may be, so take care, and peace out, guys.